Hi there guys, so Bob Arum, Kubrat Pulev's promoter, has said he keeps telling people that Kubrat Pulev will beat Anthony Joshua. Joshua will not get past him. He says he keeps saying it time and time again, and he surely does mean it. This is what he had to say. I keep telling people, and I mean it, that Joshua is not going to overcome Pulev. Joshua has to be suspect. Forget his history with Ruiz in Saudi Arabia. I mean, Ruiz disgraced himself with the condition he came in at. Ruiz didn't have the power to knock out ordinary heavyweights. So the fact that he could knock out Anthony Joshua and knock him out in the way that he did makes Joshua very suspect to me. And Pulev is a hell of a lot better and stronger than Andy Ruiz Jr. So I give Pulev a hell of a shot to knock out Joshua. So there we go, the words of Bob Arum. Kubrat Pulev is going to knock out Anthony Joshua. Now, I think he's kind of labouring under the Andy Ruiz Jr. fight too much because Anthony Joshua went into that fight not bothered about it. I mean, he was hyped up for Gerald Miller, and we just have to believe that Anthony Joshua did underestimate Andy Ruiz Jr. He said he didn't, but I definitely believe he did. And I'd say that Anthony Joshua wasn't at his best in that Andy Ruiz Jr. fight. Was he at his best in the second one? I'd say he was very close to it. But let's remember, Anthony Joshua is still learning. He has been unified heavyweight world champion twice in his career already, winning that world title straight after losing it, becoming only the fourth man in history to do that. So he has had a long career at world level, and he's only in his 25th fight when he gets in with Kubrat Pulev. How many fighters have done that? Many people would be fighting for their world title now in their 25th fight. I mean, Tyson Fury fought Vladimir Klitschko around that sort of time. So Anthony Joshua has already had a very long career competing in world title fights. So he still has a lot to learn. Anthony Joshua is not yet at his best. I believe he needs one or two more fights and then he will be. But ultimately, I think he's still learning. And the Andy Ruiz Jr. experience just shows you that he is still learning. Now, Andy Ruiz Jr. was a smaller fighter, and Anthony Joshua has a proven track record that he struggles with smaller fighters, especially fighters who roll under shots, like Carlos Takam did, and Andy Ruiz Jr. did as well. Roll under and counter, with short shots on the inside. Now, Kubrat Pulev, a taller fighter, there to be hit, European style. Anthony Joshua has never struggled against someone like that. So for Bob Arum to say that, go off the Andy Ruiz Jr. fight and see that Anthony Joshua got hurt by him and knocked out, and to say that Kubrat Pulev will do the same is very narrow-minded because Kubrat Pulev is about 6 inches taller than Andy Ruiz Jr. Doesn't move as fast, has slower hands, great timing, great jab, good right hand. But ultimately, he doesn't possess the same kind of speed and skills of Andy Ruiz Jr. And it's not necessarily about just the power of the punch, it's about where it lands and when it lands. And a perfect punch from anyone can knock any fighter out. And that was a perfect punch that Andy Ruiz Jr. landed on Anthony Joshua in that first fight. So can we believe that just because Andy Ruiz Jr. was able to hurt Anthony Joshua and stop him, does that mean that Kubrat Pulev is going to be able to hurt him and stop him as well? Because let's remember Vladimir Klitschko, much harder puncher than Andy Ruiz Jr., yet he couldn't stop Anthony Joshua. He could hurt him, but he couldn't stop him. And let me tell you this, it was the speed of Andy Ruiz Jr. that cost Anthony Joshua, because otherwise one big punch would have knocked Anthony Joshua out. It was the speed, it was the amount of punches that landed, because Vladimir Klitschko is a lot harder puncher than Andy Ruiz Jr., but he's not as fast, and he doesn't punch in bunches like Andy Ruiz Jr. That was what bothered Anthony Joshua, the speed and accuracy, not necessarily just the power, because if it was the power, then that one big punch in the third round that landed in the perfect spot on Anthony Joshua would have knocked him out cold, and it didn't. The power wasn't necessarily a problem, it was the speed, and Kubrat Pulev doesn't have the speed. Does he punch harder than Vladimir Klitschko? No, he doesn't, definitely not. So ultimately, he's going to have a similar style to Vladimir Klitschko. Not the same, but I mean kind of similar. So Anthony Joshua will be able to deal with that style a lot better than an Andy Ruiz Jr. Someone who is small, tucks up, makes himself small, and rolls under shots and lands fast counters in bunches with that killer speed as well. You know what they say in boxing, styles make fights, and for Bob Arum to say that Kubrat Pulev can beat Anthony Joshua because Andy Ruiz Jr. could, I mean, that's completely wrong because styles make fights. Is Andy Ruiz Jr.'s style the same as Kubrat Pulev's? No. Someone with the same style, you can say, okay, that guy has a better chance against Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua has a proven track record of struggling against that style. Does Andy Ruiz Jr. have a same style as Kubrat Pulev? No. So that Andy Ruiz Jr. loss on Anthony Joshua's record does not give you any indication that he is going to struggle with Kubrat Pulev. As I said, styles make fights. Anthony Joshua has always struggled against smaller, faster opponents, but he has never really struggled against taller, European-style opponents who are there to be hit, like Kubrat Pulev. But anyway guys, what are your thoughts on this? Do you believe that Bob Arum is correct? Anthony Joshua is not going to come through Kubrat Pulev, and Pulev is going to knock out Anthony Joshua because Andy Ruiz Jr. was able to, and he was a smaller, fatter opponent, even though Andy Ruiz Jr. has been that throughout his whole career. He's never been a skinny guy, he's never been a thin guy, he's always been a bit bigger, but he has always been fast, he has always been strong, and he can always take a punch. So he is a good fighter, a good small fighter. Kubrat Pulev is a good tall fighter. And Anthony Joshua has a proven track record that he struggles with smaller guys, but not with taller guys like Pulev. Anyway, guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below, click the thumbs up, and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.